In this segment, we're going to review the box contents for the following series of Parker crossbows. And in this particular example, we're going to use the Thunderhawk crossbow. And the box contents are going to include the front end assembly, the stock assembly, which will include the trigger and the scope pre-mounted. We also have a hardware pack that includes a cable slide, a main mounting bolt, and 2 top mounting screws. We have a quick detach 4-arrow quiver with 4 arrows and field points, as well as a small hardware pack of 2 fasteners in with that package. And then lastly, we have the owner's manual and DVD package. And with these items and 2 Allen keys, a small amount of blue Loctite, you have everything you need to fully assemble your Parker crossbow. We're now ready to assemble the crossbow, which involves attaching the front end to the stock. Before we do that, the first thing we're going to want to do is take the cable slide, and we're going to want to position the cable slide over the cables. And there are a couple of very important things to remember when doing this. First is that the cable slide has a right and a left side, and you'll see the grooves that are on the bottom of the cable slide that fit into the cables themselves. And we'll want to fit this onto the cables so the cables cross on the left side of the crossbow when you're holding the crossbow to shoot it. You'll notice that there is a narrower gap on the left side as I'm holding it, a wider gap on the right side. And what I'm going to want to do is just position that right on top of the cables so that they, again, cross on the left side. The next step in the process is going to be to slip the cable slide with the cables into the cable slot in the stock. And I'm going to hold the cable slide in place with my finger and my thumb, and I'm going to get this started down into this cable slot just like so. And now I'm going to turn the stock up, and I'm going to slide the stock forward, push the riser back, and I'm going to take care now to align the riser main hole with the stock insert so that I can slide the riser down onto the stock. Next, we're going to want to fasten the main riser bolt into the riser, and you're going to want to apply just a small drop of Loctite, the blue Loctite, onto the fastener. And we want to do this so that we are assured that this bolt is not going to get loosened. I'm going to get this hand started, and I'm just going to snug this up. I'm not going to tighten it all the way, just going to get it to about this point right here, just to where it's beginning to tighten up. Next, I'm going to take the 2 top screws. I'm going to insert one into each one of the holes in the top of the barrel so that we can attach the top of the barrel down to the riser. And I'm going to want to start each one before I actually tighten them both up. So I got the left one started. Got the right one started. Come back on the left one. Okay. Now before I tighten this down, I'm actually going to really snug up this main riser bolt. Make sure that it is as tight as I can get it. Okay. And now I'm going to come back and snug down these 2 top screws. And these do not need to be over tightened, they just need to be snug. Because you do not want to strip the top of the screw out. Now at this point you have attached the front end to the stock, and now we're ready to move on and install the quiver. We're now ready to install the quiver. And in order to do this, the first thing you're going to want to do is take the crossbow and turn it upside down, placing it on the scope and exposing the bottom side of the riser and these two screw holes. Now when turning it upside down and placing it on the scope, you might want to use a pad or some other soft cushioning material so as to protect the scope from getting any damage. We're going to want to open the quiver package here, which includes the quiver, the arrows, as well as a hardware pack. Hardware pack is here, which includes 2 socket head screws. We're going to want to remove the quiver mount from the back side of the quiver and position this mount on the riser and align the holes so that we can get the 2 socket head screws started. I want to use an Allen key to get them going and to tighten them up. That's 1. That's 2. And we're going to want to take care not to over tighten these because we don't want to accidentally break the quiver mount. Now those are good and snug, but not over tight. And now we're ready to actually attach the quiver to the mount. You'll notice that the quiver has 3 attachment points, so you can position this in one of 3 places, just depending on your personal preference. I'm going to position this right in the center, and taking the lever arm, I'm going to slide this over to lock the quiver into place on the mount. And now we've installed the quiver, our quiver is filled with arrows, and we're now ready to take to the field.